Welcome everybody to the Built for Anything podcast. I am your host, Hertz, and I'm so excited. This is the very first podcast that I'm doing on video, which will be available to you guys on YouTube, as well as you can still be able to listen to it on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, wherever they listen to podcasts. You should be able to find the Built for Anything podcast. And I have a very cool topic today. This topic is going to be about gaming, because I've noticed a huge popularity in growth with gaming. I mean, I've seen restaurants completely dedicate areas of their bar to people who want to come in and game. And I've seen celebrities and rappers and collaborate with people who are on Twitch and the growing popularity of Twitch and gaming, as well as here on YouTube. And so I am someone who's not really into the culture. I do play video games from time to time, but I'm noticing that there is a culture that is growing significantly. And so I reached out to one of my buddies. His name is Brandon Hiett. He's a gamer. You can find him on Twitch. Backseat Gaming is the tag. He is big on PUBG. And he also does real estate as well. And so I asked him to be my first guest to come on here to share with you guys why he's so passionate about gaming and maybe give us some insight into the culture, so that way we can have a better understanding of why are people so passionate about this. Okay, so guys, if you do enjoy this, please feel free to leave a comment down below, as well as if you're listening to this on iTunes, please leave a comment. It does help the podcast, because the more feedback that I get, then the more iTunes can start to promote this podcast. I do intend on having many more guests. Okay, so I'm definitely looking forward to your feedback on this first one. And Brandon Hiett, enjoy the podcast, guys. So I'm really excited right now. I have my guest here with me, Brandon Hiett. Gamer, real estate. Dude, thank you for showing up, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course. I'm glad you noted real estate, because most of your audience probably knows me for real estate, but they don't know me as a gamer. So I'm glad to be here in that space today, for sure.
Well, you're the perfect guy to talk to, man. I'll be honest with you. I've seen gaming really pick up in popularity, especially among adults. Yeah. Because obviously the younger generation is always going to be playing games. I played games growing up. But, when I'm starting to see local bars create sections for gaming, something big is going on here, man. And I did some research, and I'm seeing that the gaming industry has accrued more money than the music and the movie industry. That's big, bro. And so I need to hear from you, man. First of all, how did you get into gaming? Let's start there, man. What got you into it?
Man, what got me into gaming? Honestly, just going over to my friends' houses. They always had systems. I didn't, I came up a little, whatever. And so I would always go to my friends' houses and play the game over there. And, eventually, I would end up going over to their houses, even though they weren't there, and knock on their door, and their moms would let me in. So I was like, all right, cool. I get to still play the game. So eventually my parents were, I don't know, maybe a little okay, we need to get Brandon his own system. So I ended up getting a Super Nintendo back in the day. Very first system I ever owned. That. And man, I must have been kindergarten, first grade. It was back in the day, 92? I don't know when that came out, but that's how I got into it. So, so that's the very first system I ever had was a Super Nintendo, man.
So right now, I know there's a difference between PCs and video and actual game consoles, right? Yeah. What's the biggest difference?
I would say, processing power, the graphics for sure, hands down 100%. The amount of frames per second, which also translate to resolution and stuff like that. All that is superior to the console, because consoles usually are regulated in regards to how many frames a second or FPS they can have. So pretty much all consoles, as far as I know, are 60 frames per second. They're just maxed out there. That ensures their performance, especially when it comes to online gaming on the Xbox Live or the PlayStation Network or whatever. But with PCs, you can exceed that like far above that, like 200, 300, 400 frames a second. And that's only limited by your graphics processor. So like that's pretty much the main difference.
Is it cheaper per se to build a PC versus, because I know these consoles is what, $400, $500 sometimes. Would you say it's cheaper, about the same?
Absolutely not.
Oh, so it's even more
PCs
expensive.
are way expensive, man.
Oh,
yeah, like the newest graphics cards that come out right now, like the 1080 Ti by GTX or GeForce. The GTX 1080 Ti probably runs more than your average console. Just by itself, the graphics processor. Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, my most recent computer that I have right now is like probably a $2,000 computer. So yeah, it definitely outpaces the consoles for sure.
I know Twitch is a big thing, and I feel like a lot of people use Twitch mainly for gaming, right? So would you say that it's once Twitch is Twitch what really kind of pulled everything out to the limelight? Or would you say, did it help the fact that now that Twitch is around, that do you see like more people are comfortable with gaming now that there's a platform that's big enough to where it's like, oh, I could just go here and actually game, and then it's like this audience is actually watching me play and sometimes paying to watch me play. Like, do you think that has a lot to do with it?
That's an interesting observation. I actually don't think Twitch is the main catalyst to like PC gaming per se. Gaming's always been there as in its place. Like PC gaming may have been viewed as more nerdy or like less accepted. I think that platform maybe has like put into the limelight as a more accepted means of like, I guess, just having a PC for gaming by itself, like usually that was a nerdy thing to do or to have, right? But I think there's always been PC gamers. I think what actually like made PC gaming more accepted in the masses was actually the game World of Warcraft, to be honest. Yeah, which is like left field, right? But like there's this interesting stat, like I think back in the day when it was in its prime, like 2008, 9, 10, there was an average of like 1 out of every 5 people played World of Warcraft. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Something crazy like that. Say what?
Warcraft, did they make a movie out of it?
Yeah, they did. They did make a movie. Yeah. CGI and all. But yeah, that's like just the fact that you hear that crazy stat, and believe me, please verify that, whoever's listening. But it's insane. Like one out of 5 or 1 out of 10 people, who cares? If you're walking down the street and see one person out of every 10 and they play that dang, video game, then it's like, okay, there's something there. And you needed a PC to play that game. In regards to Twitch, I think a lot of its drive is because, and you mentioned bars earlier, for instance. So I think a lot of the reason why people are tuning into this like gaming just as, as something that you just want to watch in your free time, for instance, because that's what Twitch is, right? Like a platform like Netflix or Hulu or whatever. So it's like, I think the reason why people are okay with watching gaming is because people our age have grown up with games almost their entire lives, like coming up with Super Nintendo, the PlayStation, Sega back in the day, going to Xbox. Like we grew up with that. And now guess what? People our age are also owning businesses, right? Like it's our time to shine. So people are owning bars. People are owning businesses like Twitch or Mixer or, any other one of those streaming platforms, YouTube, whatever. And they see a large pool because everybody from our age demographic has grown up now to where like, okay, we're in our 30s, 40s, whatever. We grew up with that. And there's people in the audience there, right? And now, the kids growing up nowadays have always had this technology. So you got an age group from like 1 to 40 that video games has always been a part of their lives. And as long as there's technology, which it ain't stopping now, I think you'll see this just pretty much explode.
Do you think a lot of it is because it's like, okay, I remember I had a friend who worked at Best Buy, and I remember he used to play Minecraft back in the day. And to me, he kind of described it as like, it was a way for him to kind of relax and kind of detach from the world. And obviously video games in general is entertainment. It's meant to kind of distract us a bit. But do you think that because of kind of like everything that's going on nowadays where shit is kind of, people have some tough times, that the gaming is even more popular now because it's like, I don't want to deal with this stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like, let me dive into these games, and these games are creating this world that you really have to kind of build up, and it's an escape from the current world. Like, can you speak to that? Is that it for you, where it's kind of like an escape for you?
I'd say more so during my adolescence. Escapism, I mean, is part of gaming, I think, in of itself. Like, that's kind of what part of what gaming is, right? It's something that we don't experience every day, and our everyday interactions with just life. So, anyways, to get to the point, so it is escapism, and I think more so during my adolescence, during those years of 13 to probably 18, whatever. Like, those were some interesting years of my life. I mean, puberty to like trying to holler at girls to like me. I was a military family, so I moved all the time, right? And just having to make new friends everywhere I went, like to be able to go to an online platform, or just because I was a PC gamer, right? But this is before, Xbox Live and PlayStation Network, right? Where you can get on the mic and talk to people. PCs have always had that. So I used to like get into the online games, multiplayer games or whatever, and just interact with people online. And that's kind of like just to have a social aspect to it as well. It's like not like I'm playing single player games, just like chilling.
What's the game that you play the most again? What is it called?
Right now I play
PUBG?
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which is also abbreviated PUBG. Yeah. That's interesting. I've actually been playing with like some of these guys for over a year now. So we built these friendships. I mean, they're from all over the world. Like, one guy lives in Alabama, one guy's from the UK.
Okay.
Manchester United fan, by the way, if anybody's listening. Throw some shade his way. And another guy's from DC. It's like, but we all come together on this platform, this game, and just like get down, and we all get in like Discord, which is a voice. I guess you can just chat. Basically, it's chat rooms, and we just get on Discord, shoot the shit. Like, just like, it's almost like coming home instead of going to the bar. I go home, jump on the game, Discord or whatever, and just like shoot the shit with my boys. Maybe I'll have a cocktail too. It's cheaper though. You know what I mean?
So it's a great way to even interact with other people worldwide. See, that part of it I didn't even consider, but that's a big part of it as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. And like, even back in the day when I was living in Vegas, and playing World of Warcraft or whatever, I just my guild or whatever. I don't know how, people know what any of this stuff is, but it's like basically your group of people that you play with all the time. Like, I just got to chatting with them one day, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we live in Vegas." I was like, "What? You guys live in Vegas?" So it brought us together in real life. Like, we'd go out to bars, we'd go to like house parties together, and it ended up just being more than just like an online interaction at the end of the day, which I thought was kind of cool, to be honest. And they're still my friends today.
So I know not too long ago you had Drake that he got with what's his name, Ninja. They kind of call him
Ninja.
And he's gained. And it's funny. I looked him up on Instagram. I think he has like either 3 point something million or 6 point something million followers. Instagram now. I don't even know what it's like.
We'll jump into Twitch here in about 2 seconds. I'll let you know.
But wow. But it's funny because Drake got on it, and shortly after that, I think even he kind of realized like, whoa, this is a big deal. Like, and so even he tried to like negotiate something with what's the game called? Not PUBG, the one that he plays. Fortnite. Yeah. Where it's like if he has a character in there or something like that, like they wanted to make him a character in the game.
Yeah.
He tried to work some money. So, like, what do you think about that? Like artists, like these celebrities picking up and kind of going into it. Like, do you respect that? Do you feel like, hey man, let the people who really play.
Man, no, I respect anybody's hustle, to be honest. Like, I'm an entrepreneur myself, But no, the fact that the mainstream media artist, like Drake, deadmau5 plays all the time, actually. If you guys know who he is, an EDM DJ. I shouldn't call him EDM. He might get mad about that. But house, deep house, whatever. The fact that they're coming to this platform, like Twitch or just streaming in general, they bring more audience and attention to it, right? And I think like right after Drake played with Ninja, the I think it was like third quarter last year, Q4, literally the amount of viewers watching on Twitch jumped from, I think it was something like 500,000 to 700,000 plus. Yeah, per day.
Wow.
Average.
Wow.
those are some numbers.
It's a lot.
So I mean, that in of itself also made, you know, streaming more popular as well, because like all these people that had no idea what Twitch was, what YouTube, you know, the live streaming on YouTube is, Mixer, like all these people were oblivious to that until Drake brought that to attention. By the way, like our artists nowadays, like they're influential people, even maybe more influential than most state, you know, government, like, right? Like the president, like I'm sure someone could send out a tweet right now, like Jay or, you know, Kanye or something, and they would garner more attention than, well, maybe not Trump, but than Trudeau up in Canada. You know what I mean? So
I noticed the culture. I want to talk about the culture of it because I'm talking about from the mouse pad to the type of mouse to because I was watching something on YouTube the other day, and they were Unbox Therapy was what I was watching, and he was talking about building a PC desk for a Ninja. I don't know if you caught it, he was, you know, they were talking about the mouse where it has like a weight in it, and then like the type of pad and the type of keyboard, and he doesn't use a lot of monitors because he wants to be concentrated, and I'm just like, dude, the type of chair, everything from like he doesn't want any distractions, like. Talk to me about that culture. Like, how deep is that culture really?
Dude, it's like, it's interesting because like you want to get the best experience possible, right? So like you want your graphics and stuff to be dope, and you want, you know, you're at home, you're by yourself in the zone, and you want to be able to have a good gaming experience. I mean, that's why people pick, you know, PlayStations or Xboxes, or, you know, vice versa. Like they like what that console has. Well, PC, it's pretty much unlimited. So it's like you can just customize your PC however you want. There's always a new graphics card. There's always a new processor. There's always something new coming out every other month. So it almost becomes like this. Not only is it something that's customizable towards you, but you want to have the best performance in the game that you're playing as possible. Like, for instance, I play a first-person shooter. So in these shooting games, you want to have high refresh rate monitors, so you know you can see if someone's moving or not. You want the best graphics card possible, so you can identify, you know what's going on. You want high frames, so you don't get like snuck up on. It's like all this other stuff you want for yourself, but then it's also like get 2 or 3 dudes in the room together, right? Talking on Discord, talking to each other, like, oh yeah, man, I just got the newest graphics card. You know, what's up? And it's like, oh yeah, you know, how's that? So it ends up becoming this like a competition to see like who has the best computer rig, you know what I mean? So it's like it's interesting.
And I'm sure that could get pricey because with all the customization and it's because I've seen some of these desks and it's like it's epic. You know, everything is meticulous, from the type of chair, like I said, to soundproofing, to the speakers that they have,
and green screens, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that actually is funny because that actually encouraged me to look at live streaming, which I remember talking to you about, because I see that interaction, like you said, the fact that when you're playing the game is one thing, but then when you got the headset on and you're talking to a friend in Canada or wherever, you know, that's a whole different experience. Yeah. And so there's something to be said when you utilize the platform in that way to connect with people live. Yeah. And so that really attracted me to that. So let's talk about Twitch for a bit, because I know, you know, you were on it, and I think, and I remember talking to you about it, about YouTube at first, right? And gaming. Yeah. And then you kind of, you know, you went towards Twitch, which I think is a better platform for that specifically. But you've been really on it. You know, talk to me about that. Like, what do you think about that platform?
Twitch is amazing. And not to discredit other platforms, but like Twitch is kind of like the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Like they're just doing it. And you know, it started way back in the day, but like Twitch is awesome because like it also caters a lot towards the streamer itself. They give a lot of benefits to people that are streaming. For instance, like, I don't know if you want to talk about what I'm doing right now or not, but so I started just like, the reason why I jumped on Twitch, is because like I was gaming by myself in the house, you know, shooting the shit with my boys or whatever. And I was like, man, like if I'm going to just game for like a couple hours a day, sometimes like on the weekend, maybe 3-4 hours, like I'm not, you know, I game, bro. Like when I game. So like if I was doing that, like why not broadcast it out there to the world? Just because like maybe I'll get an interaction. Like here's my thing about like life in general. Like you're the product of the 5 people that you hang around the most. But I also know that networking is so important, and you never know who's out there. Like for me, I'm a commercial real estate agent that plays games. There's guys that are like just anything from like police officers to people that are in government to, artists, Drake, Deadmau5, whatever. It's like you never know who you're going to come across. And you never know who, can help you grow, or you can help them grow in this world as well. So like if I put myself out there and I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and there's an audience for that, even if it's just 4 people, like take a look, just walk outside and ask someone, hey, you want to give a shit about me and my day today? They're probably going to be like, who the hell are you, right? Mm-hmm. But the fact that 4 people, just who cares if it's just 4 people, 10 people. And some of these people like Ninja, 100,000 people watch his stream every single day. So the fact that many people give a damn about what you're doing in life, especially if it's gaming, is so powerful. And I just think like that's what kind of got me into Twitch. Like just the side, like personally, just being able to just do it. But the side effects and the side benefits that could come from that is the real reason why I jumped on it.
Nice. So you have how many people is checking you out on Twitch? Like
you follow like so all
like
that,
how does that weight? Because I know YouTube is it's about subscribers. How does it work with Twitch?
Yeah. So there's I guess 3 main categories I guess for viewership in Twitch. So you have live views, the amount of people that actually check out your broadcast stay there, and then there's also the variable of which how many people actually peek into your stream, how many people do all that stuff. So you have your live viewer count. There's your follower count as well, which is just people that follow your stream. So anytime you go live, they'll be notified if you have that option activated, or you'll show up on their platform, because really Twitch is a dashboard, right? It's just a website. And so if you're followed, you show up on the left-hand side of that. So you're easily accessible. So you can just click and be like, oh shit, B's streaming right now. All right, I'm going to click on that. And then there's also subscribers. So you do get subscribers on Twitch as well. However, the difference between YouTube subscribers and Twitch subscribers is Twitch subscribers are actually monetary value. So depending on your subscribers, like for me, I'm affiliated on Twitch. So people can subscribe to my channel. If you aren't affiliated, you can't get subscribed to. But once you are subscribed to, it's like a Netflix. So you get subscribed to like for $5 a month, or because Twitch is actually owned by Amazon, you can use your Amazon Prime to subscribe to someone for free every month. So you subscribe to them, it costs about $5, and the actual streamer gets $2.50 of every $5. Now, if you're larger, you get more of that cut because you do have that influence. So
shout out to Amazon real quick.
Yeah. So, Mr. Bezos doing it up.
So now that you bring it up, let's talk about that in terms of the monetary value, the amount of money that can be made on Twitch. Because let's keep it real, right? Let's just keep it real. There's money to be made. Mm-hmm. And talk to me like what would you say the high tier person can do? Like how far can you really take this? So the highest subscribed person on Twitch is Ninja. And that has a lot to do with the Drake coming in, because once you start getting this money, like you can afford to pay people to be on your streams. So he actually went and out there and reached out to people that played professional soccer in England, and he played FIFA with them one time, just kind of like the options are endless, but he's hustling like a, business, right? So Ninja, this guy named Shroud, he used to be a professional Counter-Strike player. He has since retired the pro scene to just stream exclusively now. And there's a whole list of people, but a lot of them are ex-pros. And, Ninja is not, but like Ninja, and there's a few others that aren't in the top 10 that have just been there since day one. Like Twitch used to be a company called Justin TV, and they got bought by Amazon, and then all sorts of things happened, and then they rebranded Twitch. I won't go into the semantics of that, but like the top tier guys, going back to subscribers. So Ninja. What kind of money? What are we talking about here?
It's ridiculous, and you might
allegedly now, right?
Because we don't know. Allegedly.
Oh, go ahead, talk about it.
Because if you just talk subscriber count, now there's also a way. Sorry, we're going to digress for a second. There's also a way that you can also get money by people just tipping you cash.
Right.
So, not including tips. All right. Mm-hmm. So I just read this article the other day where the amount of revenue via tips by themselves on the platform Twitch is going to reach $100 billion this year. Wow. Or no, $100 million this year. Wow. Which either way, 100 mil, just in people saying, hey, I want to give you $1 today across the whole platform for 1 year, $100 million, bro. Like, just in tips. Now we're talking about, like that's not chump change, you know? So then you also got subscribers. So Ninja, the number I saw today, and he lost a lot. It's 100,000 subscribers. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're quick at math, you times that by $2.5. Bro's raking in that much money a month, $250,000 a month playing video games, bro. Now,
I'm buying a PC tonight.
And that's the thing that trips me out. Like Shroud's rocking. He was rocking $50K. He's now rocking $45,000. Still, I wouldn't, sorry, I was about to cuss. Girls, calm down. Hide your kids. This podcast is now explicit. No, like Shroud has $45K right now. Like I just watched his stream today. Actually, today he's doing like a giveaway for, like he got sponsored by Microsoft to do a gaming laptop giveaway. So there's other ways to make money as well. But like he's making $90,000 a month. Like just playing video games, bro. Just playing video games. But it's a job. Don't get me wrong. They aren't just popping off for an hour. They're playing for like 8 hours a day. Mm-hmm. And they're constant like interaction with chat. So it's like they got it going on, bro. And then there's Dr. Disrespect, who actually won Twitch is Person of the Year, Personality of the Year. He's hilarious. He puts on a whole costume every time he streams, but he's rocking like what, 27,000, so like $50K a month plus. And now this is only at the $2.5 mark. Like they can negotiate with Twitch because they're partnered, and they're probably making more than that, you know? Mm-hmm. And then all the money you gain from everything else. So take that $100 million tip mark on top of the, subscribers every single month. Like it's kind of, the money gets crazy. And, I think this is a lot of the reason why after the Drake stream, because that was actually a huge catalyst into the amount of people that are actually streaming now. Like that jump from like 500,000 to 700,000+, like it would happen after that stream because people became more aware. But then that also goes like to play a part into like, how do you make it as a streamer, and how are you going to hit these numbers? Because these people are world-class players. Not everybody can just go out there and do it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, with the market saturation that it is, like a lot of people are like trying to stream and trying to be big time, but there's a lot of ways that, you got to treat it like a business if you want to become big time. So I think a lot of people get into that for the wrong reasons. They hear these dollar amounts as well. And they're like, oh man, yeah, I want to go make, $100,000 a month. Yeah. Like it's funny you said that because I seen even some YouTubers who would try to go over to Twitch and basically use it as a live stream, not necessarily gaming, but just as a live stream. So, and these are people who already have an audience already on YouTube, and it still didn't really translate over to Twitch because I think, like you said, like I really think the association with Twitch is like if people not going to just watch you just to watch you, like you got to be doing something. And for the most part, people are gaming. That's something that you can interact with and see as opposed to somebody just talking. And so I think a lot of them start kind of learn like, okay, I'm not going to be as successful on this platform if I'm just going to, even if I'm doing the exact same thing that I was doing on YouTube where they got 500,000, 1 million subscribers. But I feel like Twitch has that niche where it's like, okay, you can go there, right? Because technically speaking, you don't have to be gaming to be on Twitch, right? That's correct. So you could be, I don't know, hosting, you could doing a class or something like that, technically, right? And people, so there's different ways to use it, but the people who really maximize it is probably more so for the gaming. Yeah, absolutely. I'd say out of the top 10, there's one person that does IRL or in real life streams. And again, like just from the numbers I saw the other day is I think only one person is IRL streams. So like everybody else is just gaming exclusively. And a lot of those are related to the top games that are out right now. So PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds or PUBG, Fortnite, League of Legends, which has been popular forever, like since 2008. So, I mean, like, yeah, a lot of these guys that you see making these big bucks are playing the most popular games out there. So there's that to be said as well. Let's talk about
women, man, in terms of gaming, because I mean, obviously I'm not gonna pretend like there's no women that play it at that level, but in your experience, from what you've seen, like, do you notice is there a lot of women on there? Is it?
There are a fair amount of women on Twitch, yes, but man,
what about gaming? Let's start. What about gaming? Period. Like, if we forget about Twitch, in your experience throughout your life, have you come across women that are as passionate about gaming as you? Is that something that's kind of like really rare?
I mean, in general, I think there obviously is less of an audience. I mean, not audience, but like as a woman playing the game, from what I saw, especially on like Twitch or other platforms, like it's obviously this male dominated kind of arena. But they are out there and they do play games on Twitch now, like in the top 10.
Are they bad? I was just gonna say, are they badass at it?
No, like I think a lot of it is like content based, like interaction with audience, stuff like that. Like, man, there's a lot of like tightrope that I have to walk right now when I'm talking. So
if I can help you out a little bit, are you basically saying that when you start gaming, once you're interacting with other people, that it could be a battleground? Things are said, right, that probably would be a bit inappropriate towards women. It's already appropriate man to man, but at least it's man to man, as opposed to like.
But actually, like, so like on the platform specifically, like there's a like, if you're watching someone, you tend to respect them, right? You aren't just gonna go in there and troll. I mean, obviously there are those people that are asses, obviously, but they get banned. Like, you control your own channel, right? So you don't have to listen to the BS if you don't want to. And I mean, it's just like any show. Twitch is basically this, it's a media platform, right? Just like Netflix or Hulu. Like, you're tuning in to someone that you want to watch, a show that you want to watch, right? So if you're tuning in to a female, a male, doesn't matter. Or anything in between, because there are, that's also on Twitch. It's like you're tuning in for them and the show that they're willing to, going to show you on any given day. So like, you view into streamers depending on what they are good at. If they're good at the audience interaction, if they're good at the game, whatever. But yeah, I mean, that's why, you really tune in. So I mean, I wouldn't say that there's a lot of disrespect or shade being thrown around. If there is, I mean, you control your channel. You don't have to listen to it, which is kind of awesome, I think, putting power into the streamer's hands, So I mean, there's that. I mean, and in regards to women streamers, like, they are out there, they are prevalent, but not at the top channels, if that makes any sense.
I got you. So I know you brought up the other day when we were talking about it, you brought up esports, right? Yeah. And, I had a chance to kind of look it up and, but speak to that though, about esports.
Esports.
So with that.
So actually on Twitch again, like all these these esports companies. I mean, there used to be esports a long time ago. Like, people would get together at a convention center or a comic shop. Yeah. And they'd go play Madden against each other.
$100,000, whatever.
Yeah, even like Halo back in the day. Like, they used to be like, we're going to go over to this gym and we're going to play some Halo, boys. And then there's going to be a prize, right? So that's esports, right? But now on a global scale, like, esports is insane. The point where like there's teams and there's college teams and all sorts of other stuff, and it's all broadcast pretty much on Twitch, because that is, I mean, gamers unite, right? So like, where else are you going to watch esports at? I mean, there are TV shows. I think ESPN or Fox Sports teamed up with a company to like show Counter-Strike Go or CS:GO, or Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Sorry, it's a first person shooter, and there's actually, it was like broadcast live on ESPN a couple times. So becoming more and more mainstream. But right now the primary platform to watch it is on sites like Twitch or YouTube, stuff like that. It is blowing up big though, because
wasn't there like somebody bought like an arena, like a billionaire, somebody bought something.
Well, these professional sports teams, they're owners, like Robert Kraft for the Patriots.
Right, that's what I meant to say.
Stuff like that. Like, all these guys are buying esports teams, branding these esports teams because they see how much money is involved in that.
So what's a team? So is that when you say a team, it's individuals, me, you will play a certain game, right? Let's use Madden, for example. Yeah. And it's 5 of us. We're one of the best in the whatever area. And so we're a team that will compete against somebody else's team of 5 that play Madden. And is that what you're referring to?
So it's actually the definition of team has since expanded, right? Since streaming has become so relevant. Now, a team in the traditional sense would be like if you're playing a game like a shooting game and it's 5v5, right? Or 5 versus 5 on each side. Your team would consist of those people, a coach, a manager, and maybe some alternatives, right? So basically go to this arena or area or wherever you're going, the gym, whatever, to play against each other in this game. Let's just say like Halo or whatever, like it's just as an easy example. You'd have your team of like, let's just say Cloud9. Cloud9 is an actual esports team. They'd send their team to go play. And then, I don't know who else you want to pick. Fnatic. They'd go and play against each other. They'd send their 5 best, their manager and a coach, and they'll go play. Now, if they win a prize, like the prize pool is going to be pretty high, that prize then gets split amongst the company and then redistributed to those people. Some of the benefits they get may include like maybe some money from sponsors, stuff like that. Like they can stream under that name and then maybe get some revenue generated from streams and stuff like that. But as Twitch and other streaming platforms become more and more relevant and more viewed, I mean, like I said, there's average of almost 800,000 viewers every single day on Twitch.
Wow.
Fourth quarter last year. Like there's advertising dollars to be made. And not only that, now you're getting into subscriber counts, the tips, all that other stuff. So now you're seeing teams actually expand to where they only have not competitive teams, but also streaming teams. So, for instance, Solo Mid is another team that has been around the industry forever. They now have specific guys that only stream under that name. I think one of the guys, actually, I think the number 3 guy on Twitch is a guy that is on Solo Mid's team. He doesn't play competitively or nothing, but he gets revenue from the sponsorships because they do have like ads that scroll across the stream, and then he gets revenue from anything that's sold through his merch store. Just like Amazon, if you were affiliated with Amazon, you get paid a percentage on whatever's bought through your links or whatever, So there are, benefits to that. And also you get promoted by them. So, I mean, one of the biggest, hurdles, I guess, for streamers to overcome is, publicity or just putting yourself out there. And the fact that now if you're a part of a team, Solo Mid, that's a big deal. Or Cloud9 or whatever, Fnatic. Like the fact that you now have that name behind you, that perpetuates your stream even more. So you get more tips, more, subs, more revenue from those ad dollars. And not only that, but the team's saying like, look, we have a badass on our squad. Look at him. Like he gets, 60,000 viewers a stream. That's pretty important. I mean, think about this. Ninja gets 100,000 viewers every single stream. That's enough to fill up pretty much every single college football stadium. You know what I mean? Every single Saturday. But he's doing it every single day.
That's true.
You know how much that's worth to advertisers?
You're right.
You know what I mean? Football stadiums, bro.
Do they have ads during like Twitch streams and stuff? Do they have? So they do run ads.
Like, cause it's just like overlays. Like how like on my stream, I can have overlays. You can do it however you want. I was trying to show, I showed you overlays the other day because, we get into the video with the podcast. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, So basically there's just overlays that you put on there and you can run ads all you want. You can customize it, whatever. Not only that, but like you have basically a description, like a bio, right? Under your stream. Like you can just throw all your advertising there as well. Not only that, but like Amazon links and all this other stuff to get paid. So.
Dude, that's sick. That's sick. So are you seeing a lot of young kids that are really big into it, man? Like, is it, what's the age group? Like, what's the oldest that you've seen to the youngest that you've seen that's like has a good sized audience? Yeah. That maybe even surprised you, like, dude, this guy's 6 years old, he's killing it. You know what I mean? Or this guy is, I don't know, 50 years old and he's killing it. Like, what's the range there?
I'm trying to remember his name, man. And it's the guy that was mentioned with Solo Mid. I think he's the number 3 streamer or whatever. The dude's still in high school, dude. Dude's still in high school making hundreds of thousands of dollars.
There goes college.
Yep. Like, why? Why? Like, mama told me I have to get off the game. I got to go to college. Bro, you know how many times? Man.
Dude, the culture is changing so much that parents now are going to be encouraging their kids. And it's funny, I've seen that where online, like when I search for certain things, like I was looking for like a computer chair, whatever. You'll see reviews where parents are like, oh, you know, my kid is big into gaming. I bought him 2 headsets and he loves it. Or I bought him this chair and he loves it. Yeah. And it's like back in the day, your parents be like, get your behind outside or go get a job or go play with your friends or something. Now it's like, what? He's playing? Yeah. He might get on Twitch. He can make some money. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing too, is like, it's one thing to be, you know, you have a hobby, you have something that you enjoy doing. It's another thing when you're able to actually make money off of the thing that you enjoy doing. Then it starts to make a lot of sense to other people for whatever reason, you know, but they can rationalize it now. Like, oh, well, if you're going to be making X amount of money, you can play that all day. Yeah. So I think, you know, the culture, again, going back to the culture of gaming and how I see that it's changed. That's one of the things that I noticed is like parents are even encouraging that now. Yeah. Like, oh, we'll buy him that PC, you know, we'll pay for whatever, you know, membership, whatever it is, you know, to make sure that he gets going, she gets going. So,
yeah. And I think it's a lot easier for the younger generation, kids, teens, you know, middle school, high school, to get like really on and like pumping with this Twitch stuff, because guess what? All they have is time, you know, like one of the ways to be successful with Twitch, you got to be consistent. Like just like anything in life, really, you got to have a plan of attack every single day. You got to have a schedule. You know, if you aren't active every single day, you can't grow. Like people are going to view you as unreliable or whatever, just like any sort of business. Right. So, I mean, all these kids do is come home, play video games. Like that's what I used to do. You know, I used to go out with friends, don't get me wrong. But like when I started getting older and older, like, you know, Xbox was popping, you know, PlayStation was popping. Like I used to go home and play the game. Bro, almost till I go into bed. Like if you're doing that for 4 hours a night and you can do that every single day, bro, it's summertime. It's hot out here. You know, all these kids are going to come up. But like going back to the older folks, I'm not calling myself old. Don't get me wrong. I'm young, ladies. Come on now. But like I'm 30 years old, right? So it's like for me, like after my work day, or even before my work day, to say like I want to put in a couple hours of gaming, uninterrupted hours, by the way, because you can't really like, oh, I want to go take this call real fast. Hold on, wait, everybody watching this stream. You know what I mean? It's like I need hours of uninterrupted gaming. So you got to be all in. Yeah, and it's like, when am I going to do that? I try to do it like 6 to 8, 6 to 9, but bro, like I work in real estate. People get off their jobs and call me. You know, like I can't have consistent times, which is probably why, like, you know, I'm not on and popping, but like if you come, tune in, whatever, my interaction levels are dope. Like we'll be laughing our asses off, you know, man. But anyways, like, yeah. So I think the younger folks have definitely a leg up on the older folks, you know, older's relative, you know, in regards to this,
and
like
technology too, man. I mean, the fact that technology is so much more advanced, because I remember you telling me like, hey, you could play PUBG on, it's an app. You could play on your phone, you know, Fortnite, you could play on your phone. Yeah. So it's like, not only, you know, if you really, really enjoy these games, you're not necessarily anchored to your desk at home. Yeah. If you're on the road or something like that, you just need to get your fix in. You could pull that out. Where back in the day, you used to have to buy, you know, another separate console, which they had many back in the day. Even now, like the Nintendo Switch and stuff like that, like you would need to purchase something separate. Now it's like
the Game Genie. I like the. Yeah, I used to have that Sega Genesis, the portable ones. Talking about like a Nintendo DS, and all that other stuff.
A lot of those portable ones. Now it's like, okay, pull out your phone. It has the app. Dudes are sitting there,
and everybody has a phone.
Yeah, everybody has a phone. Yeah. So I think even from technology standpoint, it's advanced so much that it's even more fun, you know, to play these games. Like you said, you know, I was blown away. I'm like, there's a specific kind of mouse. There's a specific kind of, you know, pad. Like everything is meant to make the experience more enjoyable. Where it's like, man, I remember, you know, back in the day, it was just me sitting on the floor playing Sega Genesis looking at the screen. Now it's like, it's a whole different experience for people now, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, one of the games that is doing it real right is Fortnite. And that's one of the biggest games on Twitch right now too. And that's because here's the thing, like, you're my friend, you know, and we have other friends. And guess what? Not everybody has a PC. Like PCs, like I was talking about earlier, they're expensive. Mine is $2,000. An Xbox is what, like 400 or something?
Yeah.
So it's like, you want to be able to play with friends no matter what platform you're on or no matter where you're at. So Fortnite actually has it to where you can play cross-platform. So if you have a friend on Xbox or PlayStation, or actually just now Nintendo Switch as well, you can play against other people on every other platform and on PC. So you'll never miss a beat playing with your friends. So I think
so if I was playing it on Xbox and you obviously clearly you're on PC, you're saying we could be playing in the same game?
Yeah. Same game.
That's dope.
And then it like mixes and matches you with people that are both on the same platform. So there isn't any advantage or whatever. Because guess what, man? PC is going to win every time versus console. Like that's just the way it is. Mouse and keyboard, the speed, movement, all that other stuff. So yeah. So it matches you up with people that are also on the same platforms, which is kind of cool. Like I have my buddy, the British guy, like he plays with all his buddies from work, but they all have, Xboxes. So he's the only one on PC, so he still gets to play with them, right? So
he's taking it light on them.
Definitely not. He's rolling them boys, but it's still, he has the opportunity to still have that social aspect and play with his buddies. Because
there's headsets for the, I have a headset here, so there's headsets for the Xbox and so forth. So I think it's a great way. It's funny too, because but there's this movie, I don't know if you watched it, called Tag. You've seen the commercial, right? Tag. Well, basically, I can't remember the guys' names, but it's based on a true story. But it's the movie with the five guys or four guys.
I'm like,
where they would have to tag each other, and like they was playing it from young to adult, and there was this one who was never tagged, and but that's based on a true story. And the moral of it was like it was a way for them to kind of still stay connected, and also have fun. Right? They made fun of it, right? And so when I think about like streaming and gaming now, it's another way to kind of stay connected. Yeah. Right? Like when you say he's playing with his boys from here, there, it's a great way to kind of stay connected with people and still have fun. And even if it's like you said, an hour a day or whatever, or a certain time a day where you could schedule it and be like, hey, let's do this at 6, let's do this at 5. Yeah. Like I feel like there's camaraderie because you're talking while you're playing, right? So it's not like you're just talking about the game. Like you could be talking about whatever while you're playing simultaneously. So it's like having like a group.
Talking about life or what. Like here's the thing, man. Everybody needs social interaction, at some point. And like, I mean, we're in a day and age where like people just are busier, whether it be artificial or like, through their own work days and stuff like that. And everybody needs that social interaction. Not everybody can just meet up all the time. So, I mean, it's a great way to just like have that connectivity, even though you do live a busy life. I mean, we all do, right? So, I mean, the fact is that, yeah, man, the ability to just get together with everybody is pretty dope. So
do you have like immediate, like close friends, people that are actually around you that are as passionate about gaming, or is it just mostly people outside your immediate circle?
Like in Dallas, Fort Worth area, it's just me, bro. Like I don't have any homies from my high school that I play with, from college that I play with, none of it, man. Like it's just people that I met randomly through playing games, and just continuing that relationship, that friendship. There's ways that you can stay connected. It's video games, bro, so like you can add friends and all that other stuff, but like we just stay connected via doing that. And it's just like whatever's cool, you just hang out, man. And like that's how I met some of these people, to be honest. Like I don't play with anybody I know in real life except for like good homie or two. Like my best friend, actually, he lives in Canada. Sometimes we'll hit up Fortnite or something like that together, but other than that, nah, man, it's just all new relationships, new friendships. So yeah, it's so cool.
So how, I'm going to ask you a couple questions, right?
Yeah.
So Fortnite, not Fortnite, I'm sorry, PUBG.
What's up?
PUBG or going out to just have drinks?
Bro, I'm going out to get drinks, bro. Are you kidding me?
And then come back and play PUBG.
Yeah. When I'm shit-faced. So yeah.
I guess what I'm saying is like, it's for some people, it's
that choice would be opposite.
You know what I mean? Like it's like they really, really enjoy it. And then again, I don't knock anybody, man. I think my thing is this: as long as you're not harming other people, and you're not, hopefully you're not harming yourself. Whatever, you see what I'm saying? But I've noticed like you talk about, so the interaction is like people are having more fun on gaming, talking to with that select group of people than actually interacting, because there's more in common. There's that common ground there where nowadays it's like people, it's a struggle to find things in common, because like you said, that people aren't really as social. Everything is just it's about Instagram or whatever. Like they're just so distracted by just other things that it's like there's not much to really talk about. You see what I'm saying? Where it's like you're gonna choose the people who you have more in common with most of the time to hang out with than someone that you gotta kind of find a way. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I jokingly asked you that, like, which would you choose?
And like, I think it's an interesting point to be like, yo, all right, cool. We're gonna I want to drop you as an individual, Hertz. I want to go drop you off in a packed bar. Make friends, man. And it's like, okay, I take a guy, Hertz. I drop you in an Xbox Live lobby playing with some just randoms. And you guys are going to shoot the shit no matter what. You're going to have that interaction. You're going to just kind of have laughs. You're going to, shoot the shit with each other. You're going to give shit to people. And you're going to have that interaction instantaneously. And you get to, like, at the end of the day, you turn it off, or you make friends that you play again, with tomorrow, right? You go out to the bar. What happens? I mean, you might, start talking to this girl, start talking to this guy, shoot the shit a little bit. Oh, you might have something in common, but probably not. You order another drink and be like, what the hell am I doing out? And just go home. Like, I think a lot of time, especially with these younger generation specifically, just because my own opinions, it's just like, I think that the ability to interact, in real time with another human being, I think that's kind of diminishing a little bit. And there's much more ease. A lot of barriers aren't up, especially when you go online and game and make those kind of relationships and friends. So, it's just ease of access.
And it's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
Because outside of purchasing the PC and getting set up, like you said, if you decide to go out to the bar and you buying a couple drinks, you add that up at the end of the night, right? Versus, like you said, you could have a good time sitting by the computer for 4 or 5 hours, whatever amount of hours, and you didn't necessarily lose any money. You didn't take any money out of your pocket in order to have that experience. Where anything else you decide to do usually requires you, to pay something. You go into a club, you got to pay something. You go to wherever, a sporting event, you're paying something. Where you can sit at home, comfort of your own home, everything's set up right then and there. Talk to 5, 6, 7 different people from all over the world, and you're playing a game that you honestly love playing. So it's not like you don't like playing this game. You like playing this game, and you happen to have people that you can talk smack to or whatever, and that just enhances the experience the whole way around. So I definitely understand where the passion is around that. How many hours would you say a day? Like, better yet, not to put you on the spot as a fixed thing, but like,
dang, ladies.
But look, what I'm saying is, what's the most you've ever played?
Most?
Yeah, like
shit, bro. I put in like 12 hours a day once.
Okay,
dude. Like,
was there any circumstances surrounding that? Like, was it just like,
bro,
snowing and it was like you weren't going anywhere anyway, or just happened to happen?
It's like, look, man, like on the weekend, for instance, wake up, have some breakfast, whatever, and you jump on the computer, like put on your headset, and like all your boys are there, like, hey man, you just want to do this one, you want to play a game? I'm like, yeah, sure, fuck it, whatever. You jump on and start playing. Match takes like 30 minutes, right? You win. You're like, fuck, let's do this again, right? You win another one, And it's just like, all right, cool. Hey, I want to take a break, grab some lunch real quick. Cool. You'll be back here, right? Yeah, for sure, man. I got you. Cool. So you guys come back, play another 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you're winning, it takes a long time to play. Like, I'm talking about PUBG specifically now. Cause I was doing that competitively probably like fourth quarter last year. I was like into it. Like, I was ranked top 100. Like, I was like head down, I'm playing this game and I'm doing it. And there was times where like I won, like literally won the game. And if anybody plays, battle royale genre games or any kind of game like that, like I won with my squad, the same guys. I got one guy from DC, one guy from the UK, and some random from somewhere else in the US. We won 18 out of 20 games. Wow. And it takes 30 minutes to finish a game, bro. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of hours just in of itself. And so whenever you're taking something a little more competitively, it absorbs way more time because, you want to do better at it, right? It's just like going to the gym or like doing better at your job. You put more hours in. So yeah, 12 hours a day back towards like October, November last year, but that calmed down a little bit because I need to get that cash in my pocket. I'm not in grade school anymore, man.
Nah, I feel you.
You know what I mean?
And were you on Twitch at that time?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My buddy was.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the guys I was playing with was on Twitch, but he wouldn't have that many viewers, and a lot of I think actually to bring something up is like. One of the biggest hurdles on Twitch is getting discovered, because you'll see the guys with the most viewers, they're on the sidebar, right?
Promoted.
They're promoted the most. People with the most viewers get promoted. They get the most exposure. So how are you as a new streamer? Even if you are good, like we were top 100, he was like top 50. You're good at the game. You're killing it. You're slaying it, right? So in my mind, you should have some sort of audience because you're solid at the game, right? Or you might even be good at crowd interaction or whatever, entertaining. But you never get discovered because the way Twitch works is you have the highest viewer count just listed at the top of the box. So the way Twitch works is you get to browse by game or anything like that, right? So the top games show up in order from who's playing the most. And then once you click on that, the streamers with the most viewers at one time get listed in order and all the way down. So if you're playing the most popular games on Twitch, which also have the guys with the biggest viewer counts on them, you're pushed to the bottom of the list. Now this could be thousands and thousands of people playing this game at one time. I think the stat for Q4 last year was there's 23,000 concurrent streamers at one time over all the games. So it's like pushed at the bottom of this list. So how are you supposed to get discovered? And, like that's an issue for a new streamer. And it's like, how do you accomplish that? How do you do that? And, you got to go outside of Twitch to do that. Network, go on social media like Instagram and stuff. Like on my Instagram, I have 26, or actually it's more than that now. I think it's like 2,800 followers or something like that. Shoot a quick live video like, hey, I'm jumping on. Bump that up a little bit because the more people you get in your stream, the higher you're rated, the more people can discover you. But like this is the biggest hurdle I think for new streamers especially. And the fact that, trying to use Twitch as a discovery platform just isn't really there. So I actually have a homie, random as it is, he's starting a platform called Streamkick. And the way this works is it's kind of like your Netflix account, right? So you choose what you like to watch. Like, hey, I like, horror movies or like action movies or whatever. And like, you like certain aspects. So like it rates each streamer on a whole bunch of different social aspects. Like, are they good at the game? Do they interact with the crowd? Are they funny? Are they in, all this other like data. And then you can choose what you like. So say, for instance, you like people that are really good at the game. Or you like people that just like interact or chat. They can be kind of like all right at the game, right? This will allow you to pretty much just say like, hey, I like this criteria. And then it'll filter in streamers that fit those criteria the most, not necessarily the most viewed, but the people that match your criteria the most. So like there are other, platforms coming out that will help the new streamers out. But until that, it's like, how do you get discovered on Twitch? You know what I mean? Or Mixer or YouTube or whatever. So
you're utilizing Instagram. You're utilizing those other platforms surrounding Twitch to enhance your experience with that.
Absolutely.
And, hopefully, because you're starting to monetize it a bit, right? You become a affiliate of Twitch. So obviously you're seeing, hey, why not, right? You're playing this thing. Why not make something of it, right?
Yeah.
But that's a good tip though, because you're also utilizing other platforms like an Instagram, because like I said, I could pull up Ninja on Instagram and I see, the first thing I saw was the amount of, and I hadn't done it before, but the first thing I see is the subscribe, the follow account.
Yeah.
But then when you just take a quick glance, it's a bunch of video clips. Yeah. So clearly he's kind of utilizing the same way you utilizing your separate And give what is that again? That's Backseat. What's the name of your
Backseat Games is the Instagram account. On Twitch on Backseat Hiett. There's a big story behind that, but you guys can get that one later. It's a little inappropriate.
Got you.
But no, yeah, Backseat Games. And the way I'm using it is because like I'm using the same way that these big time guys do. However, like the game I played, no one was putting highlights of it up. Like just no one. I didn't see it. There's always Fortnite clips on Instagram. You'll find them. You're just scrolling through bikini pictures. You'll find a Fortnite clip. Like it doesn't matter, right? But no one was putting up PUBG clips or any other games I was playing, like just regular old games. So that's what I decided to do, and my follower count grew from that because I was doing something else that maybe people were doing, but they weren't doing it every single day. So that's what I do,
man. And you're successful at it so far, man. I'm excited to see where you take it because I see the platform growing. I appreciate you, coming on here and talking about it, man. And I know I've learned a lot just in our conversation. So I know some of the audience out there who's watching this, who's trying to understand the culture of gaming and like, why is that such a thing? I think they've learned a little bit more, man. So we're going to be signing off. Any last things you want to mention, if you want to throw out your tags, anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. If you want to follow me on Twitch, go check it out. Twitch.tv/backseatheat. I would appreciate a follow. And my gaming Instagram is Backseat Games on Instagram. And yeah, man, if you have any questions in regards to like technology, advice, whatever, and even if it's real estate related, I'll answer that. So just come on by, say hi, and I'll be happy to help.
My man. Thanks for coming on, brother.
No problem. Love it, Hurts. Thanks for doing it.